or so could often resist it. Against a spirit a millennium old, it would be little more than a bee sting. Michael scooped up his sword in his left hand, then turned to her and scowled. "Vanessa! What are you doing here?" The ghost was on him again before she could respond, so she loosed another arrow at it, distracting it for a second. Michael rushed forward. He wasn't as skilled with his left hand, but it was enough. The sword sliced into the ghost's belly, spilling out motes of blue light. The ghost screamed again, and the power in the cry drove Vanessa to the ground. The arrow she had been about to knock went skittering across the floor and came to rest next to the sarcophagus that the ghost had probably come from. The spirit lashed at Michael again, but he caught the attack on his own blade. For a moment it looked shocked that any mere mortal weapon would stop its blade. Will rushed forward, having put the lantern down. His knife, like Vanessa's arrowheads, had been carved from a grave marker. The ghost flinched as the knife went into its back. Startled by the pain, the ghost's reflexes caused it to turn. Michael took advantage of the distraction. He stabbed his sword into the ghost's gut and drove it upward, where the creature's heart would have been. Some spirits screamed when they were destroyed. This one, however, only gave Michael a hateful glare before collapsing into blue sparks and fading entirely. Michael stared at the spot where the ghost had been, then fell to the ground. Vanessa ran to him and helped him sit up. His clothes were undamaged where he'd been stabbed, but chips of ice had formed. His skin was cold as well. He looked up and narrowed his eyes. "You didn't answer the question. What are you doing here?" She rolled her eyes. "Normally when someone saves you from an ancient ghost, you say, 'Thank you.'" He gave her a level gaze, and she sighed. "The court sent us." Michael scoffed. "I don't have time to deal with them." That took Vanessa aback. Michael's cavalier attitude toward the court of Camelot, the leaders of the Knights of the Round, always surprised her. She had joined the organization when she was 16, after learning that the statues of the Cornhill Devils weren't actually statues. The lady had been impressed by her survival skills and had recruited her, and so Vanessa had learned obedience to the court from the very beginning. It was the job of the knights to protect the world from mystical threats, and Michael could eventually be one of their best. Or at least he would be if his recent behavior didn't get him expelled. He tried to get up, but fell to the ground again. She offered him a hand up, but he ignored her. It took him 3 more tries before he managed it. "Michael!" He dusted himself off with his good arm. "Thank you for your help with the Guardian." "A guardian?" she asked. "Not just a restless spirit?" He turned away from her and put a hand in the open sarcophagus. He moved aside crumbled bones with a casual ease. Next to her, Will shivered in a way that had nothing to do with the unnatural cold of a haunted crypt. After a few seconds, Michael grinned. There was a clicking sound, and the tomb moved aside to reveal a stairway that descended into the darkness. "You woke it on purpose?" Will's voice was something between a question and an accusation. Michael nodded once. "I didn't want it to surprise me when I tried to get past it." "Michael, this is exactly what the court—" Michael raised a hand. "If you want to come with me, I would welcome the help. If not, wait outside, and once I'm done, I'll be glad to hear everything the court wants to tell me. Right now, I'd prefer not to have the distraction." Vanessa's jaw tightened. She glanced at his limp arm, but he just huffed. "Michael," she said in a soft voice, "you're obsessed with this." He looked like he was going to argue, but he turned away after a second. Will raised an eyebrow, and it took him a second to work up the nerve to speak. "You hurt that ghost. You have wisp dust, and you didn't get it from the knights." Michael glared before patting a leather pouch on his belt. Vanessa's and Will's eyes went wide. The knights hadn't had any wisp dust since James Hook's crocodile had ruined their supply more than a year ago, and they were anxious to get more. "Are you coming or not?" For a second she considered refusing, to see what he would do, but Michael was just bold enough to go in alone, and as impaired as he was, he probably wouldn't survive. Finally, Vanessa gave a curt nod. "We may as well, but you have to come with us, after you've done learning whatever you can down here." Michael frowned but bowed his head in acknowledgement.